guys, this is Jessica with Chapter Chicks, and I am here to do a book review over City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This book was released February 19th of 2008 by McElderry Publishers, and there are 485 pages in the paperback, and it is the first book in the Mortal Instruments series. Okay, so pretty much everyone has read this book. If you haven't, you either know that you should read it or have a reason for not reading it. Okay, so basically what this book is about is a girl named Clary Frey. She goes into this club with her friend, and she encounters a group of people that only she can see. And this encountering kind of sets off this chain of events that completely and totally changes Clary's world. The people that she can see that no one else can see are called shadow hunters, and they're pretty curious as to why she's the only one who can see them when she's not a shadow hunter herself, and she's pretty curious as to why she can see people that no one else can see. And within 24 hours, her entire world's upside down. Her mother goes missing. This is not a spoiler, it's right on the back. A demon is in her apartment, and she gets attacked by it, and all kinds of crazy stuff are happening, and this book is kind of what happens after all that stuff happens. All that stuff happens really within like the first 50 pages, maybe even sooner. But this book is just such a quick read. I've read it before, and I absolutely loved it. It was one of the books that really got me into young adult. Twilight was kind of the gateway to young adult, as most of you know, because a lot of people didn't realize that young adult was actually really books instead of just all chick lit books, because I kind of thought it was all chick lit books. And there's some books that are chick lit books that are good, but there's other ones that just aren't. And I thought young adult would be all that chick lit books, but Twilight kind of showed us that it's not. So the way I put it in my written review was that Twilight was this gateway to this amusement park, and the Mortal Instruments series is one of the main attractions. It's one of the biggest roller coasters there. And that is so true, because you read Twilight and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I do have a little bit of faith in the young adult book world, but I don't know yet. And then City of Bones it instills, it refreshes that faith. That's not the word I'm thinking of. There's a word I'm thinking of, but that's not it. But renews it, maybe. Encourages it. I don't know. But it is just so good. And when I first read it, I loved it. I devoured the entire series that was out up to City of Glass. And going back, and that was before I started book reviewing. So I started book reviewing probably a month afterwards. And I was so scared that when I reviewed it, now, if I reread it, because I haven't reread it just because I was so scared, but I was scared that if I went back and reread it, things would be different. I wouldn't love it as much as I did, because in the year that I have been reviewing, my perspective on books has changed entirely. So much is so different. I look at things way more in depth now. It's not just whether or not I liked it, it's whether or not the writing style was good, it had a good plot, it had good characters. I look at every aspect of a book now, and I was so worried that when I went back to read this, it wouldn't be up to where it was in my standards before, where it was just I loved it. But going back and reading it, everything is so much better than I have in my head. After a year of idolizing a book and a writer, I have built this perfect version of Jason Clary in my head. I've built this perfect version of the story, and going back and reading it, everything is better. Clary and Jace are better as they are. The story is better as it is, and if you can have a book that is better than your own perfect version, then that's a 5-star book. That's an A+ book. So I'm not going to sit here and drill into your heads that you need to go read this book, because odds are, if you are watching this video, if you're subscribed to any book channel, you know that if you haven't read this book, you should read it. So I'm not going to drill it into your head, but this is kind of to the people who have read it. I recommend going back and rereading it, because it's such a magical world, and Cassandra Clare did a really good job of making it something that was worth revisiting. And as you guys know, the 4th book in the series, City of Fallen Angels, is coming out So it's not going to hurt to refresh what's happened so far, because honestly I don't really remember what happened in City of Glass, because I know the big chain of events, but I don't remember little details because I read it so fast because I wanted to see what would happen. Just like Harry Potter 7. I cannot tell you anything that happened in Harry Potter 7. But yeah. If you have time, if you have your own copy, definitely go check this series out. And also, if you don't have your own copy, I would totally recommend getting it, because if you are a YA collector like I am, this is something that needs to be on everyone's series or everyone's shelves. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say about this book. Just go check it out. Like I said, if you have read it, reread it. If you haven't, give it a chance. I know a lot of people don't want to because everyone talks about how good it is and they're afraid it's going to be another Twilight cult, but it's not. I honestly, this book is just worth it. Just worth it. It's just worth it, people. So yeah, sorry if this video is kind of awkward. Normally I do it where I'm on my webcam and I can see myself, but today I did it to where I couldn't see myself. So yeah, it's a lot different talking to yourself than it is just talking to nothing. So yeah, if this video is awkward, sorry. But that's it for now. Jessica with Chapter Chicks. This is my review over City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and this chapter was for you. Thanks for watching, guys.